You keep praying for help, begging heaven for breakthroughs, but every time God sends you a sign through Archangel Michael, you scroll past, skip it, or dismiss it. And then you wonder why the blessing hasn't come. Don't make that mistake again. Open this now. Some of you have been on your knees, night after night, whispering the same prayer into the dark. The tears have fallen. The words have trembled. You've asked God for answers, for rescue, for that one breakthrough that would finally end the waiting. You've cried out for a sign, something clear, something certain, something that would tell you heaven has heard you. And yet the sign has come. Again. A headline you couldn't explain. A video that stopped you mid-scroll. A scripture that leapt off the page as if it had a voice of its own. But instead of leaning in, you brushed it off. You said, "I'll check it later." You swiped away. You dismissed it as coincidence. Beloved, hear this clearly. That was no coincidence. Those were not random moments. Each one carried the breath of heaven. Each one was a message dispatched from the courts above, delivered by the very one God has assigned to your defense, Archangel Michael. The words you ignored were instructions wrapped in grace, the exact steps needed to unlock the door you've been banging on in prayer. God's pattern has never changed. His answers often come as direction, not as instant relief. And the miracle always flows to the one who obeys the instruction. But here is the truth that may sting. Many keep circling the same unanswered prayers because they never recognize or receive the divine response. And so the season stretches on. The night feels longer. The hope grows thinner. All because the answer came and went unnoticed. I tell you now with urgency, this is not a message for every ear. Not everyone who hears will understand, and not everyone who understands will act. But to the one who has been crying for change and is willing, truly willing, to pause, to be still, and to listen without distraction, the next door is about to swing open. This is your moment to break the cycle. This is the call you dare not scroll past. Heaven is speaking again, and this time, you cannot afford to miss it. Type "I receive" in the comments if this word is for you. Blessing code 777 is now active over your life. Do you want me to go ahead and write section Roman 2, opening hook and invocation next? That one will be around 650-700 words and carry even more urgency. Alright, here is section Roman 2. Opening hook and invocation expanded to 650-700 words, keeping everything tied to the title and outline you gave. Before this week ends, heaven has set an appointment with you. Before the clock strikes midnight in the next 24 hours, a word is being sent to intercept the delay that has wrapped itself around your life like chains. And I, Michael, stand here as the messenger, the sword bearer of the Most High, the warring angel assigned to guard your destiny. You have called for help. You have begged heaven for breakthroughs. And I have been sent time and time again, carrying the exact message that would shift your season. But every time I stood at your door, you turned away. Every time I tapped your heart through a whisper, a vision, a sudden stirring, you pushed it aside for another scroll, another distraction, another voice. This word is not for the casual listener. It is not for the ear that only hears but never heeds. It is for the one who has been praying relentlessly, waking at strange hours of the night, feeling a weight in their spirit they cannot explain. It is for the one who senses something is near, something big, but doesn't yet see how close it truly is. If you have been asking God for change, then know this. The answer has been standing right in front of you, but you have walked past it as if it were nothing. I tell you now, beloved, heaven does not send signs without purpose. The Father sends instructions wrapped in moments, and those who honor the moment receive the miracle. When you miss the moment, the miracle lingers but does not land, and there is a danger in delay, for if you keep ignoring the call, the blessing will not vanish into thin air, it will simply be redirected to another willing heart. You are not the only one in line. Heaven is looking for vessels who will obey without hesitation. Picture this. Right now, I am standing before you in the unseen realm, holding a sealed scroll from the throne. It carries your name. It carries the breakthrough you've been pleading for. But it also carries a demand that you stop running past the very answer you've been requesting. If you receive it now, the tide turns in your favor. If you dismiss it again, the next season will not change. This is not a threat. It is a law of the Spirit. God will not force His blessings upon you. He invites you to partner with Him. And your partnership is proven not by the prayers you pray, but by the actions you take when the answer arrives. You've said, "Lord, speak to me." Heaven replies, "Child, I already have." You've asked, "Lord, send me help." And heaven answers, "Michael has been dispatched again." Beloved, let me be clear. Before the sun sets tomorrow, there will be a sign sent specifically to you. It may come as a message, as a sudden name in your mind, as a vision while you rest. Do not brush it off. Do not file it away for later. Later is the language of missed miracles. Right now, the spiritual atmosphere around you is heavy with movement. Angels are assembling. Assignments are shifting. The enemy is trying desperately to keep you distracted for just a little longer. For he knows, the moment you pause and obey, the delay breaks. The moment you act without hesitation, the blessing is released. This is the urgency of the hour. You have prayed long enough. You have waited long enough. Now you must heed. And I, Michael, will not cease to stand over you until the word is planted deep in your heart. The Father has chosen this moment to reach you again. Do not let it pass like the last time or the time before that. The scroll is open. The ink is fresh. The command is clear. Now the choice is yours. Type "I am ready" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 1919 is now surrounding you. There is something you must understand about the spiritual realm. Beloved, nothing about your delay has gone unnoticed. There are unseen watchers, both heavenly and hostile, who have been tracking your prayers, your movements, your patterns. Heaven knows how many nights you've cried yourself to sleep, how often you've asked, "Lord, why hasn't it happened yet?" But so do the forces that resist you. They have studied your responses. They know that when heaven sends a whisper, you often brush it aside. They know your distractions, your weak points, the moments when you are most likely to look away from the very thing you've been praying for. Do you think it is coincidence that every time you are on the verge of a breakthrough, something small, seemingly harmless, pulls your attention? A sudden text, a mindless scroll, an unnecessary worry. That is not random. That is a crafted interruption. There are those in the unseen who sense your season changing, but they do not see the angel assigned to you, the one standing with drawn sword to cut through the delay. They only see the glow of your nearing promise, and they work quickly to dim it before you notice it's within reach. This is why you have felt a strange restlessness lately, why opportunities have seemed to appear and then vanish, why doors have opened just a crack before slamming shut. You've been caught in a tug-of-war between heaven's delivery and the enemy's distraction. Every missed sign, every postponed response, every "I'll get to it later" has strengthened the hand of delay. And in the spiritual realm, delay is not harmless. It is a thief wearing the mask of time. Beloved, I speak plainly. Your spirit already knows this battle is happening. That's why you felt unsettled even when nothing seems wrong on the surface. Your inner man has sensed the interference. That stirring you feel, that uneasy awareness, is heaven trying to wake you up before the next divine appointment passes you by. I tell you this because urgency is not the same as panic. Urgency is heaven's way of saying, now is the time. This message is not sent to shame you for past moments missed, but to pull you fully into the present moment, the one where obedience breaks the pattern. You are closer than you think. The resistance you feel is not proof that God has forgotten you. It is proof that what you have been waiting for is already in motion, and the enemy is doing everything in his limited power to slow it down. The watchers see the glow of your answered prayer approaching. They do not understand the fullness of it, but they can sense the weight of glory in it. That is why they have stirred confusion in your mind, fatigue in your body, and doubt in your heart. They hope you will scroll past this message as you have others, that you will dismiss the tug you feel in your chest right now. But if you resist that impulse, if you stop and receive, you will step into a moment that shifts your future. Do not let the unseen enemy write the final word over this season. This is the moment to reverse the pattern, to break the cycle, to be the one who sees and acts instead of seeing and walking away. Type "I will not miss IT" in the comments if you receive this warning. Lesson code 2244 is covering you now. If this word is stirring something in you right now, know this. When you pour into this mission, you are not just supporting a channel. You are sowing seed into the soil of souls. Every seed you release helps carry God's light to someone scrolling in darkness, someone moments away from missing their sign. The word says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over." That's not just a verse, that is heaven's law in motion for you. I feel led to tell you, your giving today can be the very act heaven uses to break another's delay. I'm inviting you, right now, to join this divine work through YouTube's Super Thanks membership, or by sowing through PayPal. The link is in the video description. And as you give, may the oil of sudden breakthroughs flow into your life in ways you cannot yet imagine. Move now. Your obedience will echo in eternity. Beloved, you must understand the gravity of what is unfolding in your life. Your missed signs are not simply oversights. They are battlegrounds. Every moment you have scrolled past, dismissed, or ignored the prompting of heaven has been recorded in the spiritual realm, not to condemn you, but to expose a very real war over your obedience. The enemy knows something most people never realize. The moment you obey a divine instruction, a door opens in the spirit that he can never close. And so, his only strategy is to keep you from obeying at all. This is why your resistance has felt personal, because it is. You are not just someone waiting for a blessing. You are someone carrying a prophetic assignment. The fact that you have been under such consistent attack is not proof of weakness. It is proof of calling. The enemy only invests energy where there is potential for impact. He has marked your life because he sees, in part, the ripple effect your obedience will create. When you think about the signs you have missed, understand this. They were not ordinary. They were moments saturated with divine instruction. Heaven does not waste its voice. The message you ignored was the exact one designed to cut through the chains holding you back. The video you almost skipped. The one that made your spirit stir. That was Michael at your doorstep, sword drawn, ready to sever what the enemy had wrapped around your promise. The scripture you glanced over was not just a verse. It was a spiritual key, waiting to unlock a door you've been banging on in prayer for months, even years. In the realm of the spirit, delay is not just the absence of blessing, it is the extension of enemy occupation. Every time you postpone obedience, the enemy extends his lease over the territory God intended for you to take. And this is the pattern heaven is confronting right now. You have circled the same mountain long enough, the same prayer request, the same unfulfilled promise, the same waiting room in your spirit. Heaven is ready to move, but movement requires agreement. I tell you this in truth, Heaven has eyes on your every choice. Every "I'll do it later" is seen. Every moment of distraction is known. Every nudge from the Spirit that is drowned out by the noise of your surroundings is recorded. But so too is every act of immediate obedience. And those acts carry weight far beyond your understanding. This is not about making you fearful. It is about making you aware. When you understand that every decision you make is a vote in the spiritual war over your life, you start treating the moments differently. You start to see that when Michael speaks, it is not for entertainment. It is for transformation. You begin to realize that when heaven interrupts your day, it is not random. It is a divine invasion to reclaim what is yours. The Father has heard your prayers. The heavens have moved on your behalf. But you must meet heaven's movement with your own. The warfare is real, but so is your authority. The same God who dispatched Michael to Daniel in the lion's den is the same God who is dispatching him to you now. And just as the enemy tried to delay Daniel's answer for 21 days, there are forces trying to delay yours. But Daniel's victory came when he refused to stop praying, refused to stop listening, and refused to stop obeying. That is your call now. Beloved, make no mistake. Your delay is not just about you. Your breakthrough carries blessings for others connected to your life. When you rise, they rise. When you obey, they are freed. The enemy knows this, and that is why he fights so hard. But heaven knows this too, and that is why the call has come again. This is your moment to shift the war in your favor. Type "I will obey" in the comments if you receive this call. Blessing code 888 is now active in your life. Hear me now, beloved. The time for vague hope has passed. The Spirit of the Lord is sounding an alarm over your life. The window is opening, but it will not remain open indefinitely. Within the next 72 hours, a divine opportunity is being set before you. It will not announce itself with trumpets. It may not come wrapped in the packaging you expect. But when it appears, it will carry the unmistakable weight of heaven. And if you do not act, it will be passed to another who is ready to receive. This is not meant to stir fear, but to awaken vigilance. The Father's blessings are not random drops of favor. They are targeted assignments. They carry timelines. They are connected to movements in the Spirit that must align in precise timing. When you move in sync with heaven, the gates open wide. But when you hesitate, the rhythm shifts, and what was intended for now may be delayed for another season. Even now, there is movement in the unseen realm. I, Michael, have been sent again to guard what is being released toward you. There are whispers in the Spirit, dreams that keep circling in your sleep, repeated numbers that keep appearing in your day, familiar names that resurface unexpectedly. These are not coincidences. They are divine alerts, pointing you toward the moment that is drawing near. But I must warn you, the enemy has sensed the acceleration, and he has already begun his counterattack. He will try to exhaust you mentally. He will stir distractions that feel urgent but are hollow. He will present alternatives that appear easier than obedience. And in the midst of it all, your spirit will feel a pull to stop, to listen, to act in faith. That is the moment you must be ready for. If you yield to hesitation, the opportunity will pass. If you yield to obedience, the floodgates will break open. Beloved, some of you have already felt the mounting spiritual pressure. You've been sensing that something is about to happen, though you can't explain it in words. That pressure is heaven pushing against the barrier that has stood before you for too long. Your prayers have weakened the resistance. Your tears have watered the ground. Your persistence has drawn heaven's attention. And now, within 72 hours, you will stand before the door you have prayed for. But here is the truth you must grasp. The door will not open simply because it is before you. It will open because you choose to step toward it. That step may feel risky. It may require letting go of comfort. It may demand a boldness you have not felt in years. But if you take it, you will look back on this moment as the turning point of your life. The Father is not trying to hide His will from you. He is trying to see if you will trust His voice when it interrupts your plans. The blessing is real. The timing is now. The instructions will be clear if you are listening. But the opportunity is not permanent. If you ignore it again, the delay will continue, and the enemy will claim the satisfaction of keeping you where you are for another cycle. This is why I have come again with urgency in my voice. This is why the warning is being spoken plainly. The countdown has begun. Heaven is watching for your response. The scroll has been unsealed. The angels are in position. You are not powerless, but you are responsible. Do not let this 72-hour window close on silence. Do not let the enemy's distractions rob you again. When the sign appears, and it will, act as though your future depends on it. Because in truth, it does. Type "I will ACT" now in the comments if you receive this warning. Blessing code 555 is now surrounding your steps. Beloved, if you are to stand in this moment without missing it again, you must position yourself correctly, not just physically, but spiritually. Heaven's guidance is clear. Be still. Not passive, but still. This is the kind of stillness that sharpens your hearing, strengthens your spirit, and shields your soul from the constant noise that has kept you from recognizing heaven's voice. I, Michael, have been dispatched to protect what God has placed in your path. My sword is drawn, not in ceremony but in battle. The war for your focus is real, and the first victory you must claim is the victory over distraction. The enemy has learned your patterns, how to lure your attention with sudden crises, unnecessary conversations, and endless scrolling. These small interruptions may seem harmless, but in the spirit, they are arrows designed to wound your discernment. For the next appointed days, you must separate yourself from the chaos, unplug from what numbs your spirit, silence the voices that speak doubt, create an atmosphere where the whisper of God can be heard without competition. This is not simply about peace of mind. It is about building a spiritual shield so that when the moment comes, the enemy has no power to pull you away. Understand this. Silence is not weakness. Silence is a weapon. In silence, the enemy cannot predict your move. In silence, your spirit grows sensitive to the smallest nudge of heaven. In silence, your angelic defenses strengthen. When you remove the noise, the static clears, and the divine frequency becomes unmistakable. I instruct you now to speak protective affirmations over yourself each morning and each night. Declare, I am covered by the shield of Michael. My steps are guarded. My ears are open. My heart is ready. No weapon formed against my obedience will prosper. These are not empty words. They are decrees in the Spirit that create a perimeter of protection around your mind and your assignment. During these hours of preparation, watch for signs in the subtle places. It may be a sudden stillness in your spirit when you're about to make a decision. It may be an urge to pause when you are tempted to rush ahead. That is heaven's hand, guiding you. Do not resist it. The blessing you are waiting for is not just about arrival. It is about arriving with the right posture to receive. The Father has given you authority to command peace over your own atmosphere. Use it. Do not wait for calm to find you. Create it through intentional choices. Shut down the open doors the enemy uses to enter: gossip, fear, overthinking, comparison. These are not harmless habits, they are thieves of clarity. Beloved, I do not speak these things to burden you, but to prepare you. When the 72-hour window from heaven opens, your readiness will determine the outcome. You cannot afford to meet the moment unguarded. This is why the call to stillness is urgent. It is a strategic positioning in the Spirit, a defense against every scheme that has worked against you before. And remember, you are not doing this alone. I have been commanded to stand with you, to war for your focus, to cover your path, to block the arrows that come against your resolve. The shield is already raised. The way is already guarded. All that is left is for you to step into alignment. This is the season where you will no longer wander in circles. This is the season where you will no longer miss the answer because of noise. The stillness you create will become the platform on which heaven will deliver your next instruction. And when it comes, you will hear it clearly, without doubt, without confusion, without delay. Type "I am covered" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 1010 is now active over your mind and spirit. Beloved, the moment has come to declare it. You are not the same person who kept missing the signs. You are not the same soul who brushed past the whispers of heaven and wondered later why the breakthrough never came. The chapter is over. The chains of hesitation, the weight of distraction, and the cycle of delay are breaking even now. You have been refined in the fire of waiting, and though you may not have seen it, transformation has been happening in the hidden places of your spirit. I, Michael, have walked beside you through these silent battles. I have watched you fall, and I have seen you rise. Every tear you shed in the night was gathered. Every whispered "Lord, help me" was recorded. You thought your prayers were bouncing off the ceiling, but they were building a case in heaven's courts, a case that now stands in your favor. You are stepping out of the posture of the one overlooked into the position of the one chosen. The shift begins here. You no longer see obedience as a burden, but as a weapon. Every yes you give to God cuts down delay. Every step you take in faith forces the enemy to retreat. You are not powerless. You are armed with divine authority. This is not a timid walk into your future. This is a march of a warrior who has recognized their identity. The refining process has been like fire, uncomfortable, consuming, and intense. But the fire was not sent to destroy you. It was sent to purify you. Like gold heated until every impurity rises and is removed. You have been in a season where heaven burned away every hindrance that kept you from hearing clearly and moving boldly. You may have thought you were stuck, but heaven was shaping you. You may have felt overlooked, but you were being fortified. See yourself now as heaven sees you. Wings unfurling, strength returning, light breaking forth like dawn after a long night. You are not begging for scraps from the Father's table. You are seated in a place of authority as His child. The enemy's strategy was to keep you so consumed by regret over past misses that you would never rise into the moment prepared for you now. But regret is losing its grip. Clarity is returning. Courage is awakening. Beloved, there is a gate in the Spirit swinging open before you. The hinges have been oiled with your prayers. The lock has been shattered by your persistence. What once resisted you no longer has the strength to stand. And when you step through, you will carry more than just your personal blessing. You will carry an overflow meant for others. This is why the enemy fought so hard to keep you distracted. This is why the signs kept coming, because heaven knew the moment you stepped into obedience, a flood would follow. Hear me. Your past pattern does not define your future power. You are not trapped in the identity of the one who missed it. You are rising into the identity of the one who received it and acted immediately. And that shift will not only change your life, it will change the lives connected to your obedience. From this point forward, walk like someone who knows their prayers are heard. Speak like someone who knows their words have weight in heaven. Move like someone who understands that delay is no longer your portion. The timid version of you has been burned away. The hesitant version of you has been replaced with one who is bold, decisive, and unshakable in faith. The enemy wanted you to forget who you are. Heaven has reminded you. Now, step into the fullness of it. Type "I am walking in power" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 1313 is activated over your steps. Beloved, it is time to lift the veil. The signs you have missed were never sent to punish you. They were never a cruel test to prove you were unworthy. They were, in truth, measures of readiness, moments heaven used to prepare you for the weight of the blessing you've been asking for. For the Lord will never give what you cannot yet carry. And so, each sign that came and went was another turn of the potter's hand, shaping you, refining you, strengthening your discernment. Now, the time of shaping is ending, and the time of release is at hand. I, Michael, speak this not as suggestion but as decree. Heaven has determined that the blessing once delayed shall now be delivered, if your obedience is immediate. This is not the hour for hesitation. This is not the hour for second-guessing the voice you know is calling you. Your name has been spoken in the courts of heaven. Your case has been heard. The scroll of your breakthrough has been unsealed. There has been a shift in the spiritual atmosphere around you. The resistance that once held firm is trembling. The same gates that were shut tight now stand ajar. The hosts of heaven are moving into formation to ensure the delivery reaches you. Yet, as with every divine release, there is a condition. The blessing moves at the speed of your obedience. The sooner you act, the sooner the gates swing wide. Understand this. The missed signs of your past are not marks of shame but markers of growth. You see them differently now because you have been transformed. Before, the sign came and was lost in the noise. Now, when the sign comes again, you will know it, feel it, and move on it instantly. This is why heaven allowed delay, to ensure that when the moment finally arrived, you would be unshakable in your response. Beloved, the courts of heaven have already spoken your name. The records have been updated. What was once pending is now ready. The only thing left is your agreement. When the next instruction comes, and it will, it may not look grand or dramatic. It may be as small as a conversation you feel led to have, a place you feel drawn to go, a word you feel burning in your spirit. But in that small step will be the key to the larger release. This is your prophetic moment. The tests of the past were not the end of your story. They were the soil in which your readiness was grown. And now, you will see what happens when preparation meets obedience under an open heaven. Type "I am ready" to receive in the comments if you believe this word. Blessing code 1616 is now flowing over your life. Beloved, if this word has confirmed what your spirit has been sensing, then I urge you, partner with heaven's work in reaching those still in danger of missing their moment. This mission is not about building a platform. It is about rescuing souls before the blessing passes them by. The word declares, "He that waters shall himself be watered." As you pour into this ministry, you are sowing into a river that flows into lives desperate for direction. I personally invite you, sow into this mission through YouTube Super Thanks, membership, or through PayPal using the link in the video description. Your seed is not just a gift. It is a prophetic act that says, "Lord, I will be part of the rescue." As you release it, I speak over you. May your own obedience trigger an overflow of divine provision in this season. Move while the waters are stirred. Beloved, the time for silent agreement has passed. Now is the time for spoken alignment. Heaven is waiting for your voice, not just your quiet prayers in the midnight hour, but your declarations in the daylight that announce to both the visible and invisible realms, "I agree with the will of God for my life." I, Michael, stand here as witness. Your breakthrough is not just something you receive, it is something you activate. The power of life and death is in the tongue, and the gates you've been standing before will respond to the sound of your agreement. This is why heaven says, "Speak." When you declare the promise, you are not wishing, you are legislating. You are exercising the authority the Father gave you when He called you His own. Right now, I instruct you to speak over your life words that will align you with your destiny. Say aloud, I am chosen. I am ready. I will not miss the sign again. My ears are open, my steps are ordered, my heart is steadfast. I will walk through every open door assigned to me. Every delay is broken, every chain is shattered, and my season of divine acceleration begins now. These are not empty affirmations. They are decrees in the courts of heaven, sealed with the authority of the blood. When you speak them, angels move. Obstacles weaken. The atmosphere shifts. The destiny you have been circling begins to draw closer. Understand this. Divine alignment requires more than belief. It requires the movement of your will in partnership with the will of God. Faith without works is dead, and so belief without activation remains dormant. The enemy is not afraid of what you think. He is afraid of what you declare and act upon. This is why you must not only speak, but move. From this moment forward, every action you take must agree with the declarations you have spoken. If you say, I am ready, then live ready. If you say, I will obey, then make obedience your reflex. The destiny prepared for you is not built on random events. It is built on consistent alignment. Beloved, this is why you've been called to rise, not simply to receive a blessing for yourself, but to step into the position you were created for, a position that influences, rescues, and carries light into dark places. When you rise, chains fall off others. When you walk through your door, you open doors for those behind you. The enemy wanted you silent, unsure, and passive. Heaven wants you loud, certain, and active. This is your activation moment. The assignment you carry is too weighty to remain dormant any longer. The people connected to your obedience have waited long enough. I tell you now, the heavens are leaning in. The earth is waiting for the manifestation of the sons and daughters of God. And you, beloved, are one of them. Speak as though your voice has power, because it does. Move as though your steps carry authority, because they do. Live as though your alignment can change history, because it will. The scroll has been unrolled. The ink of heaven's decree over your life has already dried. And now, your agreement will cause it to manifest. This is not the season for quiet hesitation. This is the season for bold declaration. Type I activate my destiny in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 1717 is now active in your life. Beloved, while you have been praying, we have been moving. While you have been sleeping, we have been warring. While you have been unaware, transactions have been taking place in the spirit realm on your behalf. I, Michael, have stood in the courts of heaven, negotiating for what belongs to you. The records of your life have been examined. The prayers you prayed in faith, the obedience you showed in small things, the moments you trusted God when it cost you something. These have been presented as evidence in your favor. And now, a ruling has been made. What was stolen must be returned. You understand what that means. There are blessings, resources, relationships, opportunities, and open doors that were intercepted before they could reach you. Some were taken by spiritual opposition, some delayed by your own hesitation. But heaven has decreed that their season of captivity is over. Right now, as you hear my voice, angels are retrieving what was withheld. They are lifting it from the enemy's grip and placing it back into the flow of your life. This exchange is silent to the natural eye but thunderous in the spirit. The enemy is not releasing these things willingly. He is being forced. The authority of the blood compels him. The decree of the king commands him. And every piece of what belongs to you is being accounted for and returned. Nothing is too small to matter. Nothing is too big to recover. While you slept, heaven spoke your name. Your name was not whispered. It was proclaimed. It echoed through the courts, through the halls of heaven's storehouses, through the chambers where assignments are written. Your name hath been tied to promises that cannot expire, and now those promises are moving toward you with speed. Beloved, you may not yet see the physical evidence, but your spirit has already felt the shift. That sudden stirring, that unexplainable expectation, that renewed strength to believe, that is the sign that the exchange has begun. Your faith is the open door through which these recovered blessings will enter. I must warn you, the enemy will attempt to sow doubt in this moment. He will try to make you believe that nothing is happening, that this is just another word with no result. But remember this: the spirit realm is the blueprint, and the natural follows. Just because you don't see it yet doesn't mean it isn't real. The moment the transaction is completed in the spirit, the manifestation in the physical becomes inevitable. This is why you must guard your faith in this season like a fortress. Speak life over what you are waiting for. Refuse to cancel your own blessing with words of doubt. Thank God for what is on its way before it arrives. That is the language of alignment. Beloved, the silent exchange is not just about giving you back what was lost. It is about restoring you in such a way that you emerge stronger than before. You will not only have what was taken, you will have interest. You will have overflow. You will have the testimony that it pays to trust God even when the battle is invisible. Right now, in this very moment, the angels assigned to your life are carrying packages with your name written in heaven's script. They are bypassing the traps of the enemy, flying over the barriers, and heading straight toward you. Stand ready, live ready. Is he with an open hand and an open heart? The transaction has been approved. The exchange is in motion, and nothing can stop what heaven has decreed. Type "I receive the restoration" in the comments if you believe this word. Blessing code 2020 is now in operation over your life. Beloved, hear this clearly. The God who sees in secret is now moving in justice. The enemy's interference hath been weighed, and the scales have tipped in your favor. Every delay, every blockage, every theft has been brought into the courts of heaven, and the verdict has been rendered. Divine reversal is in motion. I, Michael, have been present in these proceedings. I have heard the accusations of the adversary, the twisted claims meant to keep you bound in cycles of waiting. I have seen him point to the moments you hesitated, the times you ignored the signs, and attempt to use them as evidence against you. But the judge of all creation has spoken. This one is mine. Their debt is canceled. Your inheritance stands. This is not just restoration. It is justice. And justice in the kingdom of God is never equal exchange. It is multiplied return. The word declares, when the thief is caught, he must repay sevenfold. That is not a suggestion. It is a spiritual law. The enemy has been caught in the act, and heaven is enforcing repayment. Even now, the reversal has begun. Where there was lack, there will be overflow. Where there was silence, there will be the sound of answered prayer. Where there was shame, there will be honor. What the enemy meant to use as proof of your unworthiness is being transformed into a testimony of God's faithfulness. Beloved, I must tell you, divine reversal is not only about returning what was lost. It is about positioning you higher than where you were before the loss. This is why the journey felt longer than you expected. This is why the warfare seemed heavier in this season. Heaven was not just working to get the blessing to you. Heaven was working to elevate you to a level where the blessing could not be stolen again. The enemy will watch as the very things he tried to withhold are paraded into your life in plain sight. He will see you blessed. He will see you honored. He will see you walk in rooms he tried to keep you from entering. And the same people who doubted whether your prayers were working will witness the acceleration that comes when God decides it is your time. I tell you now, beloved, There is no force in heaven, earth, or hell that can overturn this decree. The reversal is already in the works. The angels are delivering verdicts to every place where your name has been held back. They are commanding the release of resources, of relationships, of opportunities. Your role now is to stand in unwavering agreement with heaven's ruling. Speak it daily. Justice is mine. Reversal is mine. The blessing is mine, and no weapon formed against it shall prosper. Your agreement becomes the seal over the transaction, locking it into place until it manifests in the natural. The next days and weeks will bring signs of this reversal. Expect sudden shifts. Expect surprising messages. Expect doors that were shut to swing open with no explanation except the hand of God. And when they do, move without hesitation. This is the season where you will not only recover but rise. This is the moment when the story changes in your favor. The records in heaven have been updated. The case is closed, and the outcome is victory. Beloved, you have waited long enough. You have fought hard enough. Now watch as the one who is faithful to finish what he starts brings it to pass before your very eyes. Type I receive divine justice in the comments if you believe this word. Lesson code 1414 is now covering your life. Beloved, this is your final reminder. The blessing you have been praying for is closer than you think, but it will not wait forever. Heaven has opened a door, and the countdown has already begun. The tests of the past have prepared you. The delays have strengthened you. The instructions have come again. And now, the choice is before you. Act in obedience and step into your season, or hesitate and watch it pass to another willing vessel. I, Michael, declare over you now. Clarity will guide your steps, courage will steady your heart, and divine protection will guard your every move. No longer will distraction steal from you. No longer will fear dictate your pace. No longer will missed moments define your story. The blessing is yours. The hour is now, and heaven is watching for your yes. Receive this sealing prayer. May the Lord bless you with eyes that see and ears that hear. May the Spirit quicken your heart to obey without hesitation. May every force of delay be broken, every voice of doubt silenced, and every blessing assigned to your name come swiftly and without interference. You are covered, you are chosen, and you are moving into the fullness of your calling. Beloved, rise. This is your time. The prayers you prayed in the dark are about to be answered in the light. Do not look back. Do not scroll past. Do not dismiss the sign when it comes. Stand ready and move when heaven moves. You are seen. You are chosen. Now rise. Type I am chosen in the comments if you believe this word. Blessing code 1122 is now active over your life. Beloved, before you grow, hear this. When you stand with this mission, you are not simply helping a ministry. You are becoming a vessel through which God reaches souls on the edge of missing their moment. Your obedience in giving becomes a prophetic act that multiplies in the lives of others. The Lord says those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. As you sow into this work through YouTube Super Thanks, membership, or by using the PayPal link in the video description, you are planting into the field of transformation. Every seed you release becomes a light that someone in darkness cannot ignore. I bless your giving, that it will return to you pressed down, shaken together, and running over, not in someday, but in this very season. Move in obedience, and watch the overflow come.